does Assassin's Creed Shadows have enough flaws to be considered a bad game or a bad Assassin's Creed game? That's the question that we're gonna be answering in today's video, and I had about 30 hours to play with the game. It's been out for about 2 weeks now, and while my first impressions video was more on the positive side, I decided to make this video with some of the complaints that I've heard and some of the complaints that I have about this game, because it's definitely not perfect. But if you're interested in my overall thoughts about the game, within about 20 hours in, be sure to check out my other video. This is gonna be about the nitpicks that I have about this game. In case you're interested in more Assassin's Creed games, be sure to check the channel, subscribe, like, do the YouTube stuff. It really helps out the channel, and thank you for doing that. Now let's get into the video. So let's start off strong with my biggest complaint about this game, and that's the story. The opening was fun and I really do enjoy the characters, but something about the presentation feels off. The cutscenes don't feel smooth, the voiceover does not feel good. I don't know how the Japanese version is, but I'm playing in English, and the voice acting is kinda hit or miss in a very bad way. Yasuke is fine, but Naoe is as characteristic as a stiff board, and I really don't like that character type. That was my main problem with Eivor from Valhalla, so I'm kinda sad that that's how Naoe is, but maybe she will change more throughout the story. So far, about 34 hours in, she is really boring, and the presentation that she gives is also boring. She just doesn't have that much characteristics for her. Yasuke is more fun. I also mentioned that in my overall impressions video, that he's more humble, and I find that interesting because we never had a humble main character to play as, so I think that's a fine thing. But the story in general is just kind of fetch questy, which I personally never had a problem with. I mean, my favorite game is Odyssey, so you can see where I'm coming from, but at least with Odyssey it was split into main story, side story, and Templar stories. The Templars were the fetch quest, the main story was the actual main stories with characters, and the side stories, as you know, side stories. This game, because it has the board that you select missions from, it all feels fetch questy, and I think that the way they put it together is kinda bad because it makes you feel like you're just doing chores even though you're doing main story missions. And that's one of my big problems with this game, is that I don't feel there's a differentiation between side quests and main quests. Now that definitely does not ruin the story. I mean, it's still a fun story to play through, but it makes it less impactful, and it makes it feel more like a chore, as I said. Odyssey, I think, had the perfect balance between story types and mission types, where you just saw very obviously that you are in a main story, so you can expect cutscenes, character development, and whatever, and you can see when you're doing a fetch quest. It was very obvious and transparent, so I did enjoy that in Odyssey, and I wish that they did that in Shadows, and it's one of the big things that's been annoying me about this game. Another problem that I have is the world design itself. My favorite game, as I said, is Odyssey, and that's very open-ended as a video game. You can go wherever you want, climb whatever you want. This game is not like that. Shadows is very limiting in the open world. You cannot go anywhere you want. You can go, nothing is stopping you, but it's not fun. You're just gonna be stuck in trees, you can't climb anything, and it's very limiting compared to what we had in Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins. And I think that's a massive downgrade from what we have. I do know and I do appreciate that older games had this style where it's more limiting, and I think that's a fine style to have, but the way that it was implemented in this game feels limiting. It doesn't feel like you can parkour anywhere you want, you can go anywhere you want. It feels like you're on a set path and you can only go down that set path. And we didn't have this even in the older games, where parkour was more of the focus and the open world was less of a focus. So I don't think that the idea behind it is bad. I think that the way that it was implemented is kind of bad. It makes the exploring feel very limited and not as open-ended as I would have liked to have it. Another one of my nitpicks is the open world activities that you can do. I feel like most of them are very limiting. You can do these shrines where you pray in 3 places, which I don't think I have to explain to you why that's bad, because it gets boring very fast, very fast after you do 1 or 2 of them. And they are all around the map. You're gonna do hundreds of them, and you don't do anything while you do them. You just stand in one place, press triangle, run to another place, press triangle, run to the 3rd place, press triangle, activity done, mastery point earned. It's very boring, very repetitive, and it doesn't mean anything after you do it like once or twice. And most of the side activities in this open world boils down to this. It's very repetitive, very boring, and you do enjoy it and it looks amazing with the first couple of times you do it, but then it just gets kind of boring. Other games in the series had it better, in my opinion. I would have liked to have a more expanded contract system and more narrowed down activity system if that was an option. But as it stands right now, I do think that it's kind of boring. Now, the one redeeming point when it comes to this idea is what we had in Valhalla. If you played that game, then you will know that they added a lot of activities with a post launch. That's why this is not as big of a nitpick as it could have been, because I do believe that they're gonna add more activities to do as the game grows. As it stands right now, most of the activities you have are very boring and repetitive, but my hope is that as the game grows and the post-launch content starts to come out, they will add more activities to do, like, I don't know, raids or something, but something else to do that's fun in the open world. Right now it gets kinda boring and it's not as open-ended and fun as Odyssey or Origins. And obviously my last nitpick is the technical state of the game. I do appreciate that it looks very good, but it's so damn hard to run. I also had this note in my performance overall, like, first impressions video, but this has gotten worse for me. The game is very hard to run, and I have the settings on the lowest of the low with minimal ray tracing, and it still struggles to run at 60 FPS, which is really disappointing. I played Kingdom Come Deliverance like 1 or 2 months ago and it ran perfectly. It looked stunning and it ran flawlessly. This game is so damn hard to run that I have to turn down every setting to low, and even then I can barely run it with DLSS performance. That's very disappointing, and I do hope that they fix it in the future, but knowing Ubisoft, I don't have much of a high hope for that, and it is very bad for the game because it kinda turns me off of the game when I can't play it normally. I do want to enjoy the game and experience it, but it's either that I play with bad graphics or I play with frame generation and I have bad input, so it's kind of a give or take. So far these are my big complaints for the game. I don't have any more to add right now. I'm still about 34 hours through the game, but I wanted to get this video out so people can know what they will have when they buy this game. Not everything is rose-colored glasses. Some things are bad in this game. While I do enjoy playing it, I don't think that it's a perfect game, and I do think that we should bring this up for Ubisoft to fix in DLCs and updates. So this is my opinion as it stands right now. My next video is probably gonna be about the positives, so let me know if you're interested in that or any other video that you're interested in, and let me know what you think of the game. If you bought it, let me know how it's going. Are you enjoying it more than Odyssey and Origins? Because I kinda am not, but I am enjoying it more than Valhalla. For now, that's all I had to say. If you're interested in more Assassin's Creed, check out the channel, like, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff, and as always, thank you for watching and have a nice day.